This is Studio 809.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Outdoors Hiking Bob podcast. I am your host, Hiking Bob Falcone. You can find me on my website at hikingbob.com, which has links to my social media, my columns at the Pikes Peak Bulletin, the other podcasts we've done, my photography website, all that other good stuff is at hikingbob.com. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter and also drop me an email if you have any comments or suggestions for topics or guests you'd like to hear on the podcast. Do all of that at hikingbob.com. And a quick note, speaking of my photography website, if there's a gift you're looking for somebody, now's the time to start looking at that and purchase something. Go to my photography website. You can get a link to that at hikingbob.com or bobfalconephotography.com and check that out. You'd do me a great favor if you did that. Today, joining me is my co-host, Kevin Wild Westendorf.
Hey everyone, it's Kevin Wild Westendorf, and you can find me at wildwestendorf.com and on social media at Wild Westendorf on Facebook and Instagram, and it's great to be back.
Yep, glad to have you back. We're just going to do a real quick one here. It's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. I imagine most people like me are probably going to be traveling, and Kevin, you're going to be probably doing something, I imagine, with your mom this week.
Yeah.
And people are busy doing stuff. Probably not a lot of time to listen to podcasts. A lot of podcasts take the week off. We didn't want to just not do one or run a rerun. But we wanted to stop in real quick for a little Thanksgiving thank you to everybody out there, to all of you listening to the podcast, whether you listen to all of the podcasts or ones that just sound interesting or, whatever. If you listen to the podcast, want to say thank you. We want to thank everybody for being a follower of ours, whether you follow me or Kevin, or hopefully you follow both of us because we both do pretty cool stuff, I think. If you do that, if you read my columns at the paper or, whatever you do, we just wanted to drop a quick note to say thank you, Kevin.
And thank you, everyone. I just want to give a huge shout out to our national parks workers for dealing with the shutdown for the last month and a half-ish.
The longest shutdown in history.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people either were not able to work or were working without a paycheck, because I know a lot of stuff happens in our parks, and you're there to help make it a good and safe space for all of us. So I just want to give a shout out to those people because I'm very, very thankful for them. And yeah, I'm thankful for our listeners, our friends and family who help support our lifestyles of being in the outdoors and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and for all the people out there who work in our parks and open spaces, it's a lot of work to do. Sometimes it's a pretty thankless job.
Yeah.
I spent a career in public safety, and I mentioned to somebody once that if I actually grew up out here, I didn't grow up here, I grew up on the East Coast, that I might have been a park ranger instead of a firefighter and law enforcement that I actually did do. But it's interesting that the park rangers are often frustrated because they go and fix something and somebody comes back and messes it up and does damage. There was an article I referenced in one of my newsletters recently about somebody was tagging arches, rocks and arches national park. It could be a thankless job, but I just want to say that we really appreciate all the park workers who are out there, especially right now in Colorado with declining budgets. Colorado Springs Parks Department taking a pretty good sized budget cut for next year. Fortunately, El Paso County Parks is not there. The county government here is much less dependent on tax revenue than the city government, so they're not taking a cut at all, but they're going to be tight, as they typically are. A lot of towns are taking it. So all those workers out there who, in the face of budget cuts and staffing cuts, who are doing the work out there, just let you know that we really appreciate the work you do, and thank you for that. Our state parks people who are out there working tirelessly. We have a great state park system here in Colorado. They do great work, even with. I think the listener would be surprised at how small the full-time park staff is at most of our Colorado state parks. They rely a lot on seasonal help. Fortunately, since the state park system is run as an enterprise and runs off of user fees and not tax money, they're not seeing any big issues with the decline in tax revenue, and more people are going to parks. But again, they still work with really small. I think people will be shocked at how small the year-round full-time staff is, especially some of our more popular and busy state
Oh,
parks
yeah.
here in Colorado. So again, they get our thanks for doing such great work and being just great stewards of our public lands and our park systems, and just being out there and making sure the trails are good and people are behaving properly and our campgrounds are set up and ready to go. And for the wildlife side of things, for the game, the wildlife
yeah.
side of CPW, the game wardens, the game wildlife managers who are out there checking on the hunters and fishermen and make sure they have their licenses and are being safe and making sure they're getting their quotas, whatever it is, for their fishing licenses, hunting licenses, and make sure they're doing that, all that kind of stuff. All these people make a big difference in our enjoyment of our park systems and our open space. And of course, all the volunteers. I'm a volunteer. Kevin, you've been a volunteer before. The volunteers that do it for nothing and just go out there because they want to do it and enjoy themselves. We're thankful for all those people who are out there. And I don't want to go down a whole list of people and bore everybody, and again, we're thankful to the listeners here, who tune in and listen, and I get great feedback from a lot of people about the podcast, so I really appreciate that.
And I want to give a huge shout out to the Patreon subscribers too. I know, like, we would not have the new mics that we've got now. It goes a long ways. So thank you. Yeah,
absolutely. New microphones we're using, you can probably hear the difference. It probably sounds a lot better. New recorder, that makes life a lot easier for us. It's everything is done digitally now instead of a mix of digital and analog like it was before, which was kind of without boring everybody, from an editing point of view, was a nightmare. But with the digital stuff we're using, and also a new service we use for the podcast that we do online, that's really... I'm receiving great reviews on how well that new system is working.
Oh, good. So
that's working out really well. And of course, our Patreons, who we definitely don't want to forget, the people who financially support it. And if you'd like to be a subscriber to our Patreon, it's patreon.com, patreon.com/hikingbob. We'd love to have your support. And I'm going to clue Kevin in on something here. This is going to be new to him, but I'm thinking about reworking the reward system there and maybe making it a little more valuable to people, that they get something a little better. But cool, you and I will talk about it. We have a while to talk about it. It's not going to happen today or tomorrow. And for everybody who's already in there, if you want to stay with what you're getting now, be grandfathered in, you absolutely can. But for the new patrons, we may offer something a little more exciting, which would I'll even tell you this: the old subscribers who want to keep their old rewards, they get to keep that, plus they get the new rewards. And the new subscribers will get the new stuff. So
cool.
It's a secret, but I'll let Kevin in on it later. But anyway, Kevin, anybody else you want to thank for this? I'd like to say we want to make this just a brief Thanksgiving message to everybody, just to let you know we really, really do appreciate it.
Just what we've said so far. Just the subscribers, our listeners, friends and family that support us. Thank you all.
The friends and family who, when we buy another pair of boots, don't roll their eyes and go, another pair of boots?
Yeah.
Or another trip or something like that. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I hear this is going to be the biggest travel Thanksgiving in a long, long time. So if you're traveling, be very safe out there. If you're out there having a good time, drive safely. Don't drive intoxicated. Get a ride.
Oh, yeah.
An Uber or a cab might cost you money, but and I've never been in this situation, thankfully, because I like to think I'm responsible, but a DUI will cost you a whole lot more than an Uber ride. So just get an Uber ride home and be safe out there. And as much as some people like to pick on the cops for picking up the DUIs, they'd rather have a night where they didn't find any.
Exactly.
I can tell you from firsthand, they'd rather have a day where they said, we stopped a bunch of people, nobody was drunk, it was been a great day. So be safe out there, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Kevin and I will be back next week, and we'll talk about a whole bunch of other stuff like we normally do.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Outdoors Hiking About Podcast, and we'll talk to you in about a week.